Thank you. And I have one other question, completely different subject. I just wondered, when we're not in the workshop like this, is there a way to go into meditation and connect with the advice or your energy and ask a question? Or
well, the nice thing is that in an environment like this, or in listening to a recording, or of us or anyone who's in the vortex as they're presenting, as you give your attention to that, for the time that you are giving your attention to it, it's like you allow that to train your vibration upward. And the more you do it, then the more easy it is for you to achieve it at any time. So we would say, rather than say there is a way or there is a process, we would rather say just be aware. Be aware of when you're feeling good, and always try to move toward the best feeling thoughts that you can find. And recently, we've been saying to Esther quite a bit lately, and she's found great success with these two mindsets that work beautifully together. Appreciate every chance you get, but don't force appreciation if it isn't coming naturally. Because if you're not in the vortex and you attempt appreciation, it just amplifies the distance between where you want to be and where you are. So appreciate as much as you can, but only when it is naturally coming. And the rest of the time, go general. Because if you can't appreciate easily, it means you are... Let's start again. When you easily can appreciate, it means that you've had your vibration in the vicinity of the vortex long enough that now the vortex is revealing to you more precise, more details, more specific. And nothing feels better than to be in the vortex. You know it. Have you ever been collaborating with people? This is just what you're talking about, where you're in the vortex and the ideas are just firing, and every idea is better than the last, and there's this synergy that goes. It just takes you higher and higher and higher, and you never want to leave the conversation, you never want to leave the room. Well, that's specific in the vortex. So if you're trying to appreciate and you can't, then the tendency is when you try to be specific and you're not in the vortex, you end up being specific out of the vortex, and that is to your detriment. So the first thing that we are encouraging is appreciate as much as you can, and the second is if you can't appreciate easily, then go general, because you're already specific and the specifics are holding you apart from who you really are. So as you go general, because as you go general negative, it's easy to move from general negative into general positive. You want to take some subject and move?
I like that. Yes, my mother is 85 and extremely negative most of the time. And so...
All right, so lots of specifics. She's 85, she's negative most of the time. Now, you could have been a lot more general in this. I have a mother. But you are much more specific. She's 85. She's ornery as she can be. Crotchety lady. Really crotchety. In other words, you're all filling in the blanks, aren't you? And we're helping. And so, you want to say anything more about your mother?
For the next whatever number of years, I feel a responsibility to assist her, and that's challenging.
Because?
Staying in the vortex when, the sun's shining and she wants it to rain, and it's raining, she wants the sun to shine. It's hard to be with her.
So now we
but I do love her and want to help
of course,
her.
we called it from you and encouraged the specifics of the negative, but And there's more. In other words, you're reluctant to go there because you're too smart for it, and yet often you do. And when you're living it, you're there, and when you're watching it and living it, you're feeling it. And so that's when you want to go general. So how could you take just that little bit that you said and become more general about it, not for the purpose of changing anything, but for the purpose of changing your perspective, for the purpose of changing your vibrational relationship with your vortex, for the purpose of changing your relationship to the solutions that you really want, the solutions that she's helping you put there every day that it's unpleasant to be with her. So there are all kinds of new solutions in your vortex as a result of the specifics that you've been living with her, that you can't find them as long as you're tuned in to the specifics. So you got to go general. So you say things such as,
I'm grateful to have the opportunity to spend time with my mother.
Well, that's probably true. We don't doubt that you want to mean that, but but at a specific time when there's something that's really annoying you, saying the words, they're just sort of empty, hollow words. So, and since you're in the vortex now, in other words, having this conversation about that when you're not there, you can't feel the movement of it. And so that's why sometimes reenacting and reconstituting that specific uncomfortable vibration and then feeling the relief of going general can help you know what to do. So let's say that you're having one of those days where you're really trying to help her out and she doesn't seem to be cooperating, and it sort of feels to you like her happiness as far as she's concerned depends on what you do, and yet there's all kinds of things that you want to do or need to do that don't necessarily involve her, and yet you feel guilty when you walk away and leave her without the support that you're wanting to offer. And so you've got all these dynamics going on, and so it's not just what she's saying that's feeding your negative emotion, it's some of the things you're thinking as you're comparing what is in your life right now with what it has been or with what you really want. So then you say, well, I'm going to improve my feeling place even though I can't change what she's doing or how she's feeling. So you say things to yourself such as, we all have perspectives and she's certainly entitled to hers. That's a general statement. And I'm not, we're still on the negative side of it, I'm not positive every moment of the day. There are things that annoy me, and it's certainly appropriate for her to be annoyed about things. And even though the things that she may be being annoyed about seem inconsequential to me, that doesn't mean that they are inconsequential to her, and she has a right to be annoyed about it. Of all times in my life or of her life, this is not the time that I should be holding her to high standards. This is a time that I should be giving her the benefit of the doubt. I should be giving her a break. And she does really well. I'm really pleased with her. I'm really proud of her. And so now we've already shifted more over into the positive. But by going general, you will catch your balance. And because you spend so much time in the vortex, you only have to catch your balance a little bit and you're all the way there. So then what happens is you get all the way there and you get feeling good, and then she says something that forces you to face the reality that she is living. And that's what's tripping you up. You think that because she's there, you've got to go there, and you're feeling resistance about where she is. Now this is where that compassion that we were talking about, or this new definition and understanding of compassion is. When it's all right for you, for her to be there. In other words, when it's hot, don't you want it to be cooler? And when it's too cold, don't you want it to be warmer? And when it's been raining, don't you wish it would stop? And when everything's dry, don't you wish it would rain? Isn't that normal? Is she really that off base in wanting things to feel good to her? She's not off base in wanting that. She only wants, and when you think about it, when you really get over into the vortex, you can really have a laugh about it. I'm mad at my mother for being unhappy about things, and yet I'm unhappy about her being unhappy. I think she should be happy whether the sun's shining or whether it's raining, and yet I'm not happy whether the sun's shining or it's raining. I'm holding her to standards that I'm not holding myself to. And then you laugh about it and realize that how everyone feels. It's easy to see it with your mother. Mother, you could choose to be happy if you tried. And we say, you could choose to be happy if you tried too. You see. It's just how big are the stakes going to be before I choose to be happy? And how much fun can I have being general with my mother? And so now let's get back to this compassion thing that we're talking. Accepting it as it is. Not accepting it as it is because you want it to permanently be that way, but accepting it as the beginning place of this journey this adventure that you are currently on. In other words, you're looking forward to this venture with this new person. You're just not looking forward to this adventure with this old person that you've have had a long relationship with. And we want to say there is an adventure within every relationship, because this relationship is new right here and now. And if you're looking forward instead of down, the most beautiful parts of your relationship with your mother are yet to come. Yet to come. Yet to come. With her not needing to change at all in order for you to bliss out in it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm starting to feel that. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you so very much.